to college to be a music major. And then, in my sophomore year in college, the end of my sophomore year in college, I went off that summer to the Aspen Music Festival School. And I met 12-year-olds who could play from sight, but it had taken me all year to learn, and I was 17. And I thought, I'm about to end up teaching 13-year-olds to murder Beethoven for a living. Maybe I'm going to play piano bar. Maybe I'll play at Nordstrom. But I am not going to play at Carnegie Hall. By the way, all fine professions, just not me. And I went home, and I had that conversation with my parents that those of you who are parents of college kids may have with your children. Mom and Dad, I'm changing my major. What are you changing your major to, dear? I don't know. You don't know what you want to do with your life. It's my life. It's our money. Find a major. I tried several different pathways. The first was English literature. With all due respect, I hated it. Then it was state and local government. That was practical. But my job was to interview the city water manager of Denver, to this day, the single most boring man I have ever met. And so, desperate now for a major, I wandered into a course in international politics. It was taught by a man named Joseph Corvell. He was Madeleine Albright's father. And Joseph Corvell opened up a world of international and Russian and diplomacy to me, and I knew what I wanted to do. There's a lesson in that. There's no reason that this black kid from Birmingham, Alabama ought to want to be a specialist on the Soviet Union. Your passion is your passion. Nobody can look at you and tell you, well, you look this way and therefore you ought to have this passion. Your passion is your passion. And once you've found your passion, life takes amazing turns. I will never ever forget sitting on the White House lawn in a helicopter about to take off with Gorbachev and his wife, and thinking quite literally to myself, I'm really glad I changed my major. Find your passion. Challenge yourself and your kids to do hard things, not just easy ones. This is especially important for girls who get strange messages sometimes about math and science and technology that it's really not for them. Maybe they're a little bit afraid that their grade point average is going to go down if they take those. But those of us who are older know that whenever you have tried something hard and overcome it, it's much more fulfilling than just continuing to do something that is easy for you. Third, it is important to have role models. It is important to have mentors. But we have a conceit that your role models and mentors have to look like you. Frankly, if I've been waiting for a black female Soviet specialist role model, somebody's got to be first. And I was fortunate that I had a lot of wonderful role models and mentors. They were all white men. In fact, a lot of them were old white men. They were the people who dominated my field. Find your role models. Find your mentors. And people who care about you, not just people who look like you. Finally, I think it is extremely important. I think it is extremely important to remember that life is, with God's grace, long. And that you don't have to do everything at once. Life can be staged and phased in ways that allows you to do a lot of different things in terms of family and friends and education and a career. But the most important thing is to always remember that you want to be a well-rounded person in order to be a happy person. That means having a chance to pursue that which you love just because you love it. As Congressman said, I continue to play the piano. I do. I continue to take lessons because that's really the only way that I will practice. But the most important thing about that is that it is one of those things, maybe the thing, that most fulfills my soul. Finding not just what you're passionate about from a point of view of a career, but finding what fulfills your soul is also an awfully important part of being a happy person. if we leave it to others, we have no reason to criticize what happens. A great democracy rests on individual responsibilities to individuals and on individual responsibilities